Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, John and Nez in the building as the good people intended. The duo was back, although Nez held down the fort in a great way. We had some very good guests on there. I saw PPR Tyler. I saw Emo Cowboy kicking off the NFL hot best ball summer in the right way. We're going to do some multi-sport draft league stuff today. We'll talk about some of the advancement stuff. We'll talk a little hoops. There were some amazing game sevens in the puck streets the last two nights there. No puck contest tonight because it's only a one gamer. Back tomorrow with the two gamer there. And then we'll talk a little baseball. Nez did a bunch of really nice baseball breakdowns on his lonesome there, and we will dive into the 8-game slate that is today with a little bit of weather. But we're back, Nez, and it is, dude, it's nice to see your face, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm you, man.
You're gonna make me blush. No, brother, you were sorely missed over here, holding it down as best as I could. Yeah, like you mentioned, some really good guests with PPR Tyler and Emo Cowboy. Had to bring in because I lost my ball knower, so I was like, let me substitute some people who know a little ball. And we had a really good teams with both those guys. So if you guys haven't seen those yet, check those out. Good teams and some good alpha from two guys who have been grinding all winter and are ready for best ball summer. But yeah, you were in Alaska famously.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Pretty cool. First time being to Alaska. I think a little bit of the novelty of it was lost on me, being from the Pacific Northwest and being like, oh, I've seen all this a million times. Like, it's kind of like taking a ferry to the cabin. It's kind of like taking a boat, up to Whistler, more or less, like that kind of vibe. But the little towns and stuff that you pop in, it's really cool because like Skagway, for instance, only has like 1,400 people, and these two boats roll into town and they bring like 10K and they just take over the town for a little bit. Wow. And then you just kind of like roam around. You see this these old school spots, and then you kind of go off. If you've never been to the Pacific Northwest, I would highly recommend. Like it's beautiful. You'll see some eagles, you'll see some whales, you'll see the glaciers and stuff like that. It's very cool. Food was great and like that sort of thing. So if you've never been to the Pacific Northwest, highly recommend. For us that are up here and experience that greenery and the mountainous terrain all the time, I think I'd go somewhere warm next time.
It's just like very funny. I mean, I can respect the breakdown. Like, I would probably have had like a great time. Not that you didn't have a great time. I just love that you're just like, well, that's a Tuesday for me in the wonderful terrain. You're lucky Numi's not on here, because like Numi would be like tilting his ass off at you, just like hee-haw. Yeah, it's a great cruise to Alaska. He'd be losing his mind.
No, it was great. Spent some quality family time and that sort of thing. And like, my brother-in-law is like also one of my best buddies, so we had a really good time together. It's hard to drink 15 free drinks a day though, Nez. I couldn't make it all the way through. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow.
That's when you get the package and you do these sort of things. I grew accustomed to a lifestyle that had specialty coffees involved. So I bought a milk frother here. So I'm an espresso and milk frother guy now when I came back. So there's my biggest thing. Dutch coffees grew on me. I'm a Dutch coffee guy now.
I feel like most men kind of like get more stay off my lawny as they grow older. You're getting softer and softer the longer I know you, brother. Like 2 years ago, like I don't think you would have ever like if I mentioned I bought a milk frother, you'd be like, "Just drink it black, you pussy." Like you would definitely not have been a milk frother. I mean, I'm proud of you. I'm
an open-minded individual, Nez. I'll give everything a try one time, and we'll see. And now I'm expanding my horizons. I'm growing up out here, dude.
15 drinks a day, though, just real quick. That's crazy. That's hard. Yeah. That's a lot of drinking to do consecutively.
We tried our best one of the days where we were like, okay, this one's all at sea. We know we got 15, and let's see. We'll start in the morning. Irish coffee, mimosa. Let's see if we can keep this train rolling. I had 2 naps that day.
2 naps.
We went to put the baby down. So they have a 6-month-old that was with us the whole time. So baby went down for nap time, and so did the boys. The boys put the baby down, and we put for a nap. So
I know that thing hit real nice. That nap.
Oh man, yeah, no, but I highly recommend for. I know Alan was saying. I think it was Alan who was saying that he booked one
Or
and sort of stuff. Like it rains a hell of a lot up there. Like I think Ketchikan is the rainiest city in the United States, and it is like 320 something days a year. So we got
whoa.
a pretty nice day when it was there. Like it was definitely raining, but it wasn't like torrential downpour, and we ripped off to the glaciers after and sat in the hot tub getting rained on while looking at glaciers. Like it was pretty cool. So like that was definitely one of my highlights there.
I don't know how anybody could live in a place that rains 320 days a year. I mean,
We gotta ask the great Sam Olsen. He lived on the app. That's how he lived up there.
oh, I mean that dude's lived honestly just like 1,000 lives. I feel like, and one day he'll let us in. But I agree with Nick. Heartburn City. You took a trip to.
Buddy, I ran out of Tums on day 4.
Well, that's what, dude. You gotta step your game up. I've been on this grind. Like this is how old and daddy I am now. This is a once a day.
Okay.
Life changer. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I don't know what I would do without it at this point.
All right, that's my next game step up there. Although I'm making a commitment here, Nez. It's cardio club season, and we're off the sauce for a little bit. Oh, one last tip for the people. Two tips. If you're gonna go on these cruises, you're gonna go do something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Bring some bucks in your pocket. They give you the option to pre-tip. Do that. But bring an extra like $100, whatever you're comfortable, $100, $200, whatever, in your pocket to just be nice to people and give them money. Because the people on these boats, man, they do not make a lot of money. They're all from third world countries. They're all, very reliant on this to send the money back. And like for me personally, it was like once I learned like how little they were actually making and stuff like that, it's just like a fucking feel good gesture to be like, yo, here's a 20 sheet. Like feel great about their day for you because they're waiting on you hand and foot, like some of the best service you ever had. Like, so anyways, that was like the one thing. Yeah.
You definitely would want to do what you did for sure. Cause I'm the same way, right? Especially if they're being just like so good at their jobs and just like, you just want to, it makes you want to do that. So yeah, that's
right.
I'd be the same way.
I'm gonna blast off a $100 extender pick 'em in 2 hours. I may as well just give a little bit of that to these people as well. Like,
that's some good karma for the pick as well.
That's true.
That helps you hit your picks.
Shout out to you getting it home in game 6 there. That's what we needed. The extender was all worth it to get to game 6 there. Hope everybody was playing along there. And then there's last one real quick that I would say is, guys, you can order 2 entrees. You just got to ask nicely. So every dinner, I had 2 entrees because I'm not a big dessert guy. So I'd be like, okay, I want to have the steak and I want to have the crab, or I want to have like the fish of the day and I want to have the escargot 2 appies or something like this. So like, if you just ask nicely, you can have whatever you want. So anyways.
That is a hilarious tip. You can't have 2 entrees. You just have to ask nicely.
All right, let's do this, man. I had a full-fledged detox, man. I did not buy the internet package by design on the plane or on the boat. I went full detox. I put my phone in the safe and I'd leave it for days at a time. I had
White Lotus style.
Yeah, man, literally. I had like 200 and something unread Discord interactions, and I did 0 drafting. So yesterday when I got home and stuff, I did 48 MLB drafts, and I was like, I felt alive again. I had to make sure I felt something there. But I'm very happy and excited to get back into these games today and to dive into these slates alongside you. I think the number one place we should start is what just took place on the app is advancement for all of these playoff contests. So I have some notes. I was going to say Numi and notes.
Numi notes.
And notes at the same time.
Nomi notes.
I have some very important notes from Numi for all of the wild cards and stuff like this. So all of the hoops and all of the Zamboni, big Zamboni, and little Zamboni have all pushed through right now. And the last thing to get pushed through is MLB Eliminators. They're doing the advancement and payout of that, but that one is not complete yet. So all of the playoff stuff has completed here. So the Gills Arena wild card, if you guys are trying to get to Gills House, was 1275.9. Okay. The dance was 1343.5. And this is evergreen reminder. The wild card, it goes to the highest scoring third place teams because top 2 out of the pods of 6 advance. But then that wild card slot is then available if the contest didn't fill, yada, yada. These all had a little bit of overlay. So we got some extra ones. The big Zamboni, 395.3. Heartbreaking for me, Nez. I thought I went 3 for 3 on the big Zamboni. Just missed that cutoff there. And then the Zamboni was 397.8. And the little Zamboni is where the sharpest people resided, 419.7. So yeah, there you go. So there's your breakdowns. If you were wondering why some teams got through or some didn't get through, that is why. Now I got to ask you the pressing questions, Nez. How did the first round of NBA, NHL, etc. go for you?
I didn't make it out of my single bullet big Zamboni. That was very upsetting. So I thought I had a wagon, but I had the Avs though, and the Avs obviously lost in a hilarious fashion. Not if you're an Avs fan, but man, those man, if you have stars and the stars make it, that Zamboni final is going to be kind of crazy. Just given like the injuries and stuff there. Dude, the NBA first round NBA, I thought I was going to be like in great shape, but the Lakers just rolled over and died. So I have like no Timberwolves, and that was my play.
Dude, you were the T-Wolves guy.
Basketball was like Timberwolves, and the Lakers fucked it. So I have like almost no Timberwolves. I'm just a gigantic Nugget slappy, just like everybody else right now for the most part. So like, yeah, I'm just like rooting for the Nuggets and a handful of Warriors teams because unfortunately my Timberwolves play didn't get through, but I'm still rooting for them just for the directional accuracy.
Yeah, no, that was a great call by you. We were talking about wing depth early on. Like we go back to our very first dance one that we did with Pete there, and you were screaming, wing depth from T-Wolves was a great way to backstack because you can get stakers rights on it if you just take Ant Edwards. And then their prices decreased as the window of drafting went on, and people got way more bullish on Warriors, Lakers, and Rockets in particular instead, or Clippers in a big way too, actually. And those ADPs kind of flipped. Yeah. My Bucks stand didn't break correctly there. Losing Dame was brutal, and logging on to see Hallie actually playing good basketball was heartbreaking to discover there. But I got some really good advance rates in both contests, which is nice. I don't know. I haven't gone through the teams and like labeled them and stuff, so it'll be hard to tell if anything is alive and well right now. But we could take a quick look there. Did 50 dance teams and then the one Gills team. We were able to get the one Gill team through there. The dance stuff, it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is a great radio. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26.
Nez, how much do you get paid for advancing the dance? $8. Oh, okay. Let me just divide my winnings by 8. No, how many did you get through? Is that 50%? Is that like 50%?
It looks like about 50% through.
Sorry, I was getting a loading circle there. I mean, you said 20 something, right?
Yeah, it looks like I got about 50% through.
Jesus.
Yeah,
and you're on your way to Gil's house.
Yeah, the Gills house one's fun because it's an onslaught of Knicks and Nuggets.
There you go.
Just a 2-team build. And then 36 in this bad boy. Yeah, we missed that the big Zamboni number 2, but we definitely got 2 live big Zambonis here. We got a couple wagon teams here, like Edmonton, Florida, Dallas as a combo. And I think the other one is equally as nice, but with Toronto. And then we got whatever else through here. Looks like we got at least 12 of the 33. So good first round for me, and hopefully we got some live bullets going forward here.
Nice. Yeah, I guess just to bring it to my first round, I got 45 teams through out of 115 drafted. So that's a nice 40% advance rate. Pretty cool.
Dude, you
but
killed it. Yeah,
pretty cool. But I don't have a whole lot that looks great. I did name my teams, of course, not before, but after they advanced. But and like I said, man, it's just a lot of Denver in the West, almost like exclusively Denver in the West for me.
If Denver comes out of the West, there's going to be a lot of roster overlap come the finals, and there'll be like some
Chop
1v1s,
City.
yeah, Chop City, or some 1v1s of like, Christian Brown versus Russell Westbrook, or like something like that,
Yeah, if it even gets to that point, because
Right, true.
Yeah, but oh man, that would be so cool. Let me daydream just for a second about Denver coming out of the West. That would be that would be incredible. Denver Pacers. I have a decent amount of Denver Pacers. That would be, probably the smallest chop that I could possibly win. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be Thunder, and it will be interesting. I think if it is a chalk finals and it's just like a chop and or a winner, where the fifth player, or even the fourth and fifth, but probably just the fifth player is like a scrub.
Right.
I think that'll change the way that we think about these contests moving forward. And it's something that I kind of hypothesized on our very first dance stream with Pete, was like, I've done a lot of these. I've seen how tough it is. It could very well be just needing to get there. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, that's a really good shout there. Like if Aaron Wiggins matters as like a fifth piece tacked on to a 4 Denver stack, or like something like that. Or that's a bad example. Tacked on to a 4 stack of Pacers, or tacked on to a 4 stack of Cavs. And then it's just like one off Aaron Wiggins was the piece you needed.
Yeah. There's gonna like a Thunder. If Cleveland manages to beat the Pacers, like Max Strus, something like that. Like, but yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, for sure. Our guy Eggers rolling through with the 5 bean. Appreciate you, bro. Go chase that ring for your stars. Love that so much. You guys were able to have an epic 2 teams with epic Game 7 third period comebacks. Mikko Rantanen shit was incredible. 4 points in the period, hat trick in the period to upset against his former team in Game 7. I know our guy Eggers was in the building for that. I can only imagine that would have been fucking electric. Full breakdown. I mean, that series starts tomorrow, so we'll or tomorrow or the next day. I believe it's tomorrow. So we'll talk a little bit about it in the future there, but it's crazy to roll into this series and be like, "Ooh, is Ottinger the better of the 2 tendies right now?" Because Hellebuyck looked bad in a couple of those games against the Blues there, and Stars could be a wagon. Hope Miro and Hope Robertson can come back. As timelines in 10. I know, yeah. And then Scheifele, he was skating but didn't even play Game 7, so who knows on his timeline too. So yeah, that's going to be a great series. I think we set up for some really nice series in the second round of the NHL playoffs. All right, Nez, I think we were talking a little hoops. Probably a good segue to jump in here, do a quick and dirty 2-game breakdown, jump over to the beautiful Unabated interface for that one. We got a little bit of injury report stuff rolling on. Oh, actually, you know what? One thing I wanted to hit on before we do this is winners from yesterday. Do we have any winners from yesterday? I know Seedmeister and who else was up there yesterday in not Ricky. We're up there in the baseball contest that I played yesterday. Anybody else that I missed and or need to be shouting out?
Yeah, Scott, man, took the late slate down. Almost took down 1 through 4.
Oh my god.
1, 2, and tied for 5th twice. Good for just in that top 5. 3.9K on a 15K slate. and did it on the back of Trey Sweeney. So
wow. I mean, that is truly goated. Trey Sweeney, the guy you need. Shout out to the Wood, man. The Wood has been killing it in these streets. I know we're going to try and line something up with him just to give everybody a crash course and a refresher on the tool and what using the leaderboard could look like. So hopefully we'll do that in this upcoming week, if not the following one there. But shout out to Scott again, man. He's been having a great one. I did see also that we got tagged in some tweet related stuff there, Nez. I saw our guy Brad had a full leaderboard scoop and was fading weather, and then the Dodgers decided to play that Atlanta game at like 11 p.m. or some shit like this. Just truly crazy. And then it flipped the entirety of right. Yeah, it's just wild. Flipped the entirety of that leaderboard. And what led to him losing was the fact that our guy Matthew, the game 1985, jumped up on that leaderboard as well. So shout out to Matthew, who tagged us in a nice tweet after he was able to take that down at the expense of Brad. All right, guys, let's talk a little hoops here. This could be fun because we got two game ones. Obviously, Nuggets went to game 7. They played on Saturday night, so tighter turnaround for them. The Thunder have been waiting and ready for them there. And then Knicks and Boston in the other one. This series, the Battle of the Gardens, as the kids are calling it. And then we got the battle. We got the battle of the MVPs on the other one there with SGA and Jokic. Pretty largest spreads for a postseason game for the home teams in here. The 2 seed and the 1 seed, that being the Thunder and the Celtics there, both as heavy favorites, 8.5 and 9.5. 212.5 in the Knicks and Celtics game, and a 226.5 in the Nuggets Thunder game. Macro, just slate dynamics, what you've been seeing in these contests, just thoughts on everything, bud.
I'm definitely scared about the Knicks just getting demolished here against Boston. I mean, the Pistons take you to game 7. Not ideal. Not ideal. So I'm definitely big worried about that. Thunder here, the Thunder have had so much rest, and now the Nuggets roll in, and they had a hell of a series as well that they're coming off of. It's hard to not think. It's 6 games. Sorry. It should have been 7. I just see both these home teams just going to town.
Okay. Yeah, I respect it. I think out of the 2 games, I'm more interested in getting to the Denver and the Thunder game, obviously because of the total and what I could see from a pace standpoint. I do think the Celtics matchup against the Knicks looks very lockdowny for some of their perimeter scoring. And the fact that we've seen the usage from Cat dip in the postseason here, they got to get back to big time usage Cat against Al Horford and against Zinger. I think that's going to be your best course of attack here for the Knicks. I know clutch player of the year, Brunson and stuff like that, but man, this looks like a tough matchup for perimeter shooting and just switchability onto the guards and stuff like that. There's going to be no high side switch and get Beasley on you instead of whatever. Anytime you switch on Brunson, it's going to be like, here's Holiday, here's Derek White, here's that's a tough assignment on the offensive end for Brunson, in my estimation. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that, or at least what I'm pretty sure is the catch and shoot, defense on for the Celtics is like where they kind of lack. So, Josh Hart and OG and Mikhail, of course, Mikhail does play for the Knicks. He's there. He's still playing. They got to do their part. They got to be knocking down their shots. And that tends to be like the one somewhat weakness with the Celtics is like, they'll let other teams shoot threes because they're just going to shoot them right back and just hope that they can go band for band with teams from the 3-point line. So yeah, you kind of need to, it just seems like you kind of have to play perfect here, especially with the way Tatum's looked, man. Tatum looks like he's on a mission.
Yeah.
So it just does not, it doesn't look good. But I would very much welcome a Knicks upset.
Yeah, I know we don't care about like anecdotal narrative based splits and that sort of thing. Guys get up for certain teams and these spots and that sort of thing. But Tatum fucking killed the Knicks this year. Like every game was like double double and 30 plus with the exception of one of them. Like Tatum killed the Knicks this year. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could go a little game by game with the ADPs and stuff like that, but let's just do kind of a macro series thoughts on the other game there with Nuggets and Thunder. For me, this looks like the reason they went out and got Hartenstein is this series right here. Like this is why Hartenstein's on the team, and this is why the Thunder of this year are different than the Thunder of last year, is because Hartenstein has to go get dirty against Joker, and that's the assignment, and that's the differentiating thing here. You want to talk about on-ball defense as well, Caruso and that sort of thing. Going against Jamal Murray isn't my favorite spot in the world for Jamal either, but yeah, macro thoughts on this series.
Yeah, no, I am expecting a big series from Hartenstein for sure. Definitely seems like you said, like this is really the matchup. This is what they needed to take care of, and he just brings so much to the table for them. So I'm expecting a big series from him. Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of scoring from OKC. I like a lot of the OKC guys in the drafts today. It just, in my opinion, I think you're just gonna see a lot of fantasy points and a lot of offensive scoring. Obviously, offensive, that's redundant, coming from the Thunder here against the Nuggets. And I'm with you. I'm a little worried about the Nuggets here. What does a Nuggets victory look like? Maybe just lockdown defense and some, running hot from three type of deal.
Yeah.
Perhaps that gets it done. Maybe foul trouble on the OKC side of things, but I'm struggling to see how the Nuggets take one here. I don't know what it would look like.
It's interesting. It would look like vintage Joker game like we got in game 4 or game 5 when they blew the brakes off the Celtics there and he put up 80 fantasy points. That's the way in which you win this one. But yeah, it's interesting when you illustrated that for me, Nez. I can't think outside of, or I don't know. I'm kind of lost for my words, but the parallels between what Bridges can do in that series, in the East series, and what Michael Porter Jr. can do in the West series, where we're going to need some third option perimeter scoring if we want to go band for band, as you put it, with Celtics and Thunder filling it up.
Yeah, and like that's a tough ask with the shoulder injury with Michael Porter right now. It's his off shoulder, but like that's not nothing, right? That's all. It's obviously all going to affect your shot. So hopefully that gets better. Hopefully he's feeling extra numb on these nights, because I agree. I think we've seen it in their past runs where Michael Porter Jr. just like when he's hot, it's like what you can't do anything about it. It's it like that's over. Like he just, you give him open looks and he's putting up 30. That's game. So yeah, if he can get hot and come back, because we haven't seen it yet in these playoffs, like I said, because the injury is what I'm attributing it to. That would be huge. That would be huge for them.
Yeah, for those who didn't watch Game 7, he's wearing like that big pad on his non-shooting shoulder too, right? Like he's wearing like that big, I don't know what you would call it, but brace or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like strictly just to cushion it from contact, but yeah, there is like a big shoulder pad there. There was one, he kind of like went up for like a baseline jumper one time and kind of broke his fall with his arms. I'm like, oh, I know that fucking hurt. Like, yeah, those AC joint injuries, man, like thankfully I've never suffered a serious one, but like just incredibly painful. Like you just think about how much we use our arms for and stuff. Like it's just that the pain tolerance for that is just otherworldly.
Yeah, and the worst motion for it is getting shoulder or getting arm above shoulder. So like the worst motion for
Yeah.
it is this, right? And what are you doing when you attack the rack every single time? Is this,
Mhm.
right? Like that's the worst motion for it.
Ugh, yeah.
Um,
I don't even
yeah.
like thinking about it.
Yeah, because like the football guys could get away with it a little bit, leading with the opposite shoulder and keeping it tucked. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's weird.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Let's dive into the specifics of the slate here and maybe what some of the rotation stuff could look like. I put Westbrook on the cover because I thought Westbrook was the only dude on the planet who realized that last game was Game 7. My God, did he turn the clock back? I mean, some of those steals that he had, vintage Westbrook shit. I think he had 5 or 6 steals on the night. I watched that game like just full isolation, shelf the phone, totally zeroed in kind of thing. And man, I thought Russell Westbrook played well. All I was thinking to myself was, you know who the Clippers could really use right now? Russell Westbrook, who they let go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was kind of like, they need some bench scoring. Harden looks tired as fuck. Like, they could really use Russell Westbrook. And meanwhile, Russell Westbrook's bringing 25, 28 minutes energy on the other side and doing everything. I thought he played phenomenal basketball. And that kind of leads me into my questions for tonight. Nez, I guess it's natural. We'll start with the West, even though it's the later of the two games, just for conversation flow. What are we doing with what we've seen from Russell Westbrook, just juxtaposed to the Gordon, the Brown, and the Porters of the world? Because right now his projection's lower on the site, and you could get him every single time if you want him in the 3rd/4th round. Is that something that interests you, or do you like other people?
I'm not so certain we're gonna get that Russ tonight. What we got last, I mean, 5 steals for Russ last time out. Just an incredible, awesome performance, and like it's very awesome when Russ is doing those type of Russ things. I don't have him ahead of anybody with a lower projection than him right now,
Cool.
or anybody with a higher projection than him right now. So probably going to be light on Russ, just, leaning into the fact that I think people are going to be chasing the box score and my lack of confidence with that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I respect that in a big way there. Then I will ask you the follow-up question is the Jamal Murray. Like we talked about the on-ball defense maybe being a tough matchup for Jamal there. How do you like Jamal juxtaposed to that tier that is like, because there's kind of a line in the sand after Brunson. Like Brunson goes in these
Yeah.
drafts and there's kind of like a top 6, and then people are kind of mixing and matching this next tier. I've seen a lot of sharp people bringing up Josh Hart. I've seen a lot of sharp people taking both Chet and JB over Jamal. How do you fare on the Jamal spot?
Yeah, I'm Chet and JB over Jamal as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely lighter on that. But we've seen Jamal step up, man, in these playoffs. So, I wouldn't full fade Jamal, but the way that I currently have it, I prefer Chet and Jaylen Brown in their respective matchups over Jamal.
Okay. Yeah, no, I respect that take in a big way. Other Denver pieces there, just in general, that kind of middling tier of Gordon, Brown, and Porter, which you had Westbrook like kind of firmly behind. And then if there's
Yeah.
any other 6th round viable target, which is your favorite of this grouping?
Aaron Gordon for sure. Aaron Gordon's been pretty awesome for Denver.
Dude, he's been so aggressive going to the hoop. Sorry to cut you off.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah,
I
yeah,
had to
go
get
ahead.
that thought out. When I watched him, I was like, I know he was banged up for a large portion of the regular season, and they were
Yeah.
trading off days of those Q tags between him and Jamal and that sort of thing down the tail end and tail stretch when they fired the coach and all that sort of thing. But yeah, man, he has been ultra aggressive going to the rack in the playoffs here, and it's been really fun to watch.
It has been. It has been. He's just very valuable to them right now, and playing a lot of minutes. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Aaron Gordon. Gonna need him tonight. So I like him the most for sure. I don't have him over like the Knicks guys or Derek White, but he is somebody that I'm not fading. So no one with a worse projection than Aaron Gordon ahead of him for me.
Okay. Sounds good to me there. Do you have a lean between Brown and Porter?
I do have Brown over Porter right now.
Cool.
Yeah, it sucks because it would hate for just Porter to be feeling better, and because his ceiling is obviously greater than Brown's when he's healthy, but I'm just not convinced that he's healthy, and I think this is going to be a pretty rough game.
Okay. Sounds good there. Anyone else draftable on the Nuggets with your last pick? Peyton Watson getting a little bit of burn in there. We saw some garbage time, Strother and DeAndre Jordan and shit like that in the blowout game 6. But anyone else you could possibly think of?
I'm not doing it. No.
I'll ask you one last macro question with both these games. Very similar situations. Celtics have been resting and waiting, and Celtics didn't have to play everybody. Like Holiday's missed multiple games. Tatum sat a couple of those games in the last series. They're sitting and waiting. Thunder sitting and waiting. These other two series went to game 6, went to game 7. They're 2 days removed. Is there any thought in your mind that, first game of this series, you can't now waive a game in the playoffs and whatnot, but is there any potential, like this game plays to the spread, that these two teams, being the Knicks and the Nuggets, pull the cord a little earlier than we'd anticipate, being like, it's game 1, we're on the road, we're not going to steal home court, we're down, 15, let's just pull the cord early and get our guys some rest, because they had been playing such big minutes and such condensed minutes in the previous series?
Not unless it's like way out of hand, which I don't think it's going to get way out of hand.
Okay.
At least not early. But I think it's likelier that the Knicks are looking at that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I kind of echo the sentiment of Nick here in the chat saying, Knicks and Nuggets just play their guys a billion minutes no matter what kind of deal. Michael rolling through to, he can't watch due to some work, but he's rolling through to drop a thumb. Yes, please and thank you guys. It helps, goes a long way for us. If you guys can drop a like, drop a subscribe, all that fun stuff there. Okay, cool. Let's talk about the other side here. You said you were really liking the Thunder this evening. We illustrated the matchup and bull case for why we think Hartenstein will be on the floor more in this series than the previous series. Matching minutes with Joker there, opposed to doing some switch off stuff at the 5 and playing a little bit smaller and having Chet on Joker. I think you're going to need the two big bodies and some double teaming down low. Maybe there's some help side stuff from Lou Dort or something like that. But let's talk about the Thunder outside of the obvious being, SGA at 2 and J-Dub in that next little tier. How are you treating the rest of the Thunder for this slate next?
There's just like 6 guys for me. Lou Dort and Caruso are the end of that. I'm not going to draft Case and Wallace. But Caruso and Dort are the last 2 for me, and I've got Caruso over Dort as well.
Okay. No chance they go a little more expanded or whatever, seeing as though it is a game 1 and get some Wiggins minutes that matter. We know he can fill it up from a rates, or Big Shot Joe, ice a couple threes, anything like that.
Not unless it's like out of hand. I think is the only way that those guys matter. I don't see them factoring in like regulation.
Okay, so that would be pure, blowout run, gal brain differentiation at the back end, where you have an SGA and Chet on a team and a Caruso, and then you tack on a 4th one because you're painting the narrative that they blew the doors off them, kind of deal.
Yep, yeah, something like that.
Okay. Anything else to say on Denver and Thunder?
No, I don't think so, but definitely, I don't want to just like have one take on this and then like, just completely blast off my entries with that take. I think there's a lot of ways that like Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. specifically are guys that you need tonight, but I don't think it's likely, but I do think that like those guys have real big time ceilings that have shown it in big moments before. So just something to keep in mind.
Cool. No, I respect that take for sure. Let's go to Knicks and Celtics then. Nez, let's start with the Celtics ADPs here. We cited how Tatum has killed the Knicks and that sort of deal. We cited the fact that he did miss the one game in there, but he's been phenomenal in the postseason outside of that one game missed there. He did do the weird ass this second game or first game at Orlando, did the weird ass D tag to Q tag to available, and then flip flopped with Holiday, and it was a bit of a messy slate there. But we got a clean bill of health all across the board here. Holiday's going to be fine as well. Let's just talk about how many of these Celtics pieces are draftable and which you prefer over the bunch.
I think I have 6 draftable players for the Celtics as well.
Okay.
I just accidentally closed out of my rankings tab, but I think let me just look at your screen here. So yeah, Peyton Pritchard, Al Horford are the last of the line for me. So I guess that's 7.
Yep.
And I don't love being left with Peyton Pritchard, but he's, I think, like number 24 for me in my ranks. Him and Lou Dort I kind of go back and forth with. I like Horford greater than Pritchard, but I think most people that are drafting, are doing that. There's very few people that are like, oh, Pritchard has a higher projection. Okay, swipe right.
Right.
It's not really happening in these rooms. So yeah, but I will say, I mean, as far as just kind of transitioning into the Celtics here further, really like Drew Holiday. Playoff Drew. I just have this in my mind that Drew Holiday he's a riser, just performs better in the playoffs. So I've got a pretty aggressive rank on Drew Holiday and I want like a lot of him. Now I'm worried about being too aggressive because, now I'm just building worse Drew Holiday teams, but I want a lot of Drew Holiday. I think he's just going to raise the floor of my lineups today.
I like that take.
One of my biggest stances.
I like that take. I think he's closer to Derek White than the ADP in quotations would indicate,
Yeah, that's where I'm at, man. Like I would very much consider Drew Holiday over these over the Nuggets guys not named Aaron Gordon, those back end Nuggets guys.
Sure.
Like I would get that crazy with it.
Okay. We got the Zinger narrative street here, revenge series here versus the Knicks, where it didn't come to fruition with him. Obviously he had that big cut to his forehead, which limited some of his minutes in one of the games there. But it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute since we saw this Zinger ceiling. I don't know if he's playing through stuff, if they just haven't needed the size and banging bodies, that sort of deal to the same extent. But like, man, the eye test right now, Horford's playing some good ball out there. And I don't know if that's mitigating the ceiling of Zinger when they were playing alongside each other a lot because Tatum missed a game, because JB missed a game, that sort of thing. So then Horford draws in, and then now you play the two bigs alongside each other. So I just want to ask you, JB versus Zinger versus Josh Hart, that whole little pocket range there. I find myself pushing Zinger down a little bit. Am I wrong?
So I think that's everyone's natural reaction to do that. But I think Zinger is one of those guys, or at least how I'm treating it is he might be a better play when they're fully healthy.
Okay.
I mean, just pattern matching here. He's had, you remove guys from the lineup and when has he ever risen? And usage has increased and outputs increase. I just feel like I haven't seen it. And we know Porzingis has a crazy high ceiling when he wants to get there. Now he's he's an annoying ass play because he's a good fade most nights. And then, then the night comes where, he's got 6 stocks and 18 points in the first quarter. And you're just like, cool, my night's over. Immediately my night's over. So just, in a word, just a high variance player that when I first did my ranks, I'm like, oh yeah, Derek White over Porzingis 100%. But I know damn well, that the Porzingis ceiling game is lurking, and it's when you least expect it.
Yeah. Well put, Nez. Well put. Anything else to say on the Celtics? Anyone else that you said you're cutting it off at Pritchard as your last one there. There's no reason to get to Hauser or Cornette or anything when they're fully healthy.
I can't imagine unless Joe Mazzulla's saw God and you told him to play Luke Cornett, then then maybe. But I haven't. He hasn't said that.
Okay. I
He would
mean,
tell us,
I
but
can't decipher anything in his fucking quotes anyway, so who knows? I think it's an interesting place to start here. M World had a nice little nugget in the chat then that said Celtics are not great at defending ball handlers on the pick and roll, so Brunson could look decent from that perspective there. So I think maybe that's a good launching point here for us of the Brunson versus Cat versus that tier thing here, because we're kind of seeing something similar to the last slate, where those two will be paired together a lot, just because of the way their ADPs, or in this isolated instance projection, line up. That those two teammates get paired together a lot, and I haven't seen a slate getting taken down with those two paired together in a minute here. So yeah, just thoughts on the Cat and Brunson dynamic. Do you have a favorite there, and how you'll be playing it this evening?
John, I think if people are going to be drafting off projection like in the slightest, I'm going to have like 2% Karl Anthony Towns.
Interesting. Okay, cool. So you are team Brunson and team J-Dub ahead of Cat?
Yep. And yeah. Yep. I mean, I had to talk myself out of like, putting Chet over him as well. But yeah.
Ooh-wee. Interesting. Okay. All right.
I know it's spicy. It's spicy, but like, yeah, I the way I see this, I kind of like said off the top, like I'm counting on like the perimeter players for the Knicks, being the guys that are involved here. Maybe, Karl Anthony Towns showing up and being a focal point and, like the offense running through him and he's having a great game helps them win. Absolutely. But I think the most likely outcome is like Hart and OG are like they're being dared to beat the Celtics is how I'm kind of playing today.
Yeah. There's also a couple things I've noticed trend wise with him is usage rates have gone down in a decent regard. They've relied so much more on the auxiliary scoring, including Bridges, in this postseason. And also since the return of Mitchell Robinson, when they do a little bit of overlap, the rebound rates are way down too. So I'm not sure if we can anticipate more or less overlap in this series with Mitch Rob. I guess it depends what the Celtics want to do in terms of Horford and Zinger on the floor at the same time together. So maybe there's a push pull there. I think the matchup for Cat in this series is slightly better than the previous one if he gets the Zinger matchup and just one-on-one 5v5, like, you know what I mean? But I don't know that will be the case. I think if you start getting overlap with Mitchell Robinson, that could impact especially the defensive side rebound rates in a drastic manner, which we are very reliant upon for Cat getting those kind of double doubles and that sort of deal to rack up the fantasy points more so than here's the 35 or 40 point game from Cat.
Yeah, very very well said. That's a really good point. Really good point. That for a lot of big guys, that's the case. So.
Let's talk about the auxiliary Knicks there. I noted that some people are pulling up Hart over OG. Is that something you subscribe to? And then Bridges is kind of like the end of a tier where only 5 Knicks tend to get drafted. I did see Mitchell Robinson go once in the last round. Today, I'll ask you your thoughts on that as well. But just rank the next kind of 3 Knicks for me and what you're interested in.
Yeah, so I think Mitchell Robinson is totally viable at pick 24, pick 23 today. I think he's going to play and he just has the ability to just like get fantasy points and like lightning in a bottle type shit. Knicks though, Brunson, Cat, Hart, OG, Mikal is how I'd rank it. And I think that's pretty chalky, but that's how I'd rank it. Mix and match OG and Hart, for sure. We've seen these huge OG games, time and time again. But I think I would go Hart over OG in these drafts.
Okay, cool. I like the shout on the Mitchell Robinson. If you 1v1 it, Mitchell Robinson and or Peyton Pritchard and or Case and Wallace with your last pick?
I think I would go Pritchard like 55-45
Okay.
there, and then like Case and Wallace like 60-40 toward Mitch Rob.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. So you'd rank them Pritchard, Mitch Rob, Case and Wallace.
Yep. Yeah.
Cool. I respect that a lot there, Nez. I think it's time for us to jump in a draft here. Brett Boy rolling through to tell us that the Sunday shoot around has been paid out. I know there was a little bit of delay on that while they were advancing other contests and that sort of thing. So just noteworthy there that Sunday shoot around has been paid out. Guys, Bry asking if we advance some dance teams, roll the tape back about 22 minutes. We talked about the wild card scoring and all that sort of thing. I did see someone else in the chat asking for Zamboni teams. I think it was Kramer. Yeah, there we go. Any Zambonis left? Went through that. Both of us went through that and talked about the wild card advancing structure. It's beautiful to see all this football back in the lobby here, the way the great site intended it to be. But I'm going to scroll all the way to the right here, and we are going to do a Monday Night Hoops.
Let's do it. These are filling fast, as these 4-person contests tend to do. 100K up, not up top. Jesus, could you imagine? 100K contest. Yeah, I'm gonna be getting
Buster
my
Boys would
in.
be rich.
Oh, dude, would he ever? It's so funny, man. Buster Boys doesn't take down a contest and then the site's slow to pay out. I think what's this guy up to? Why is he being so difficult?
That's funny. We did get some injury news rolling through here while the show's been going on, but it's all for tomorrow's slate or maybe Wednesday's slate. I haven't looked that far ahead into the future. We'll be covering it regardless. But DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, and Darius Garland all with Q tags for the Cavs there after the Cavs drop game 1 on their home floor last night to the Pacers there. Yeah.
Didn't love that. For my bags and for my takes. I thought we were going to see a pretty strong series from Cleveland, but yeah, man, Pacers are feisty, and like you just said, with these potential injuries for the next game too, man, this is not looking good.
Yeah. Should we do a little bit of Brunson and J-Dub then here?
Yeah.
That's how you have it ranked out. All right, let's do it. Brunson and J-Dub it is at the 4-5 there. A little different than the quote-unquote chalk. Towns goes at 6 there. Chet going ahead of Jamal. We will see if this guy dares to pair Jamal and Joker together. I think traditionally speaking, it feels bad. I think on this slate with only 2 games, it's probably positively correlated.
Yeah, probably given, game flow and how you think things will go. I could see myself maybe doing, Hart, JB, sometimes at the 1.
Sure. Yeah. We get the decision of 2 Boston pieces here.
Yeah.
You did allude to the fact that Derek White was slightly favored over Zinger, but do you think there's a big enough tier break that you just take both of them?
I think you do.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you do.
Okay. Works for me there. Ransack rolling through to kick me in the dick. Halliburton most overrated is looking interesting right now. Yes, my groin hurts, my friend. Thank you for that huge punt right to the midsection.
Halliburton's dad up in John's face right now.
Nice. I mean, that win last night was impressive. I'm not going to lie. I have a macro take that I'm workshopping, and I'm going to save it for after we make these 2 picks here, Nez.
Okay.
Westbrook comes back to us, which I think I would pound the table for Westbrook just from a ceiling outcome. And then I think you would tell me to take Holiday.
I mean, I would take Holiday, but if you wanted to do something different, go ahead.
No, let's do it. This feels like a very solid team. We flip the board a little bit at the front end there. We get 3 Boston pieces, and we get Westbrook on that team. Fun team. Those are fast. Let's rip one more of those.
Yeah, those are fun.
Nez, here's my take. We talk so much about how we want the condensing of rotation in the postseason. We want, big solid minutes from the starters. We want that sort of thing, right? The depth so far in this postseason has kept good teams fresh and kept them playing good basketball, in my estimation. The Clippers and the Nuggets both traded games because at isolated moments, certain guys looked exhausted, in my estimation. The Knicks, who are super condensed, who did it all season long, they look tired at times to me when you have to play up tempo. But these teams, like, it didn't work out for the Rockets. I will say that. But the Rockets did condense in a decent way, and they didn't rely on their depth as much as I thought they would. But I think the lack of depth has really hurt some teams. Where, like, look at the Lakers, for instance. Yeah, they had the two best players in the series, but they had no five. They had no big ones. The Wolves took care of business because they're deep. Obviously, Ant had some great games. Gobert, I thought, played great. I thought Randall had a very nice scoring output in two of those games. But, like, man, the depth of those teams, like, it mattered so much. And that was never really a conversation when we were doing the dance drafts. It was all situated about, like, whose stars can take over, whose stars are going to,
that makes sense.
Right. Sure.
But yeah, no, I agree. Let's just cue up Tatum here.
All right.
I just wish I could have found more ways to capitalize on, like, Wolves over Lakers, just because I was just so confident that, like, the market could not have been more wrong on that. The underdog market, any market that you could have found money to put on that series, I just felt so confident that, like, this was the Wolves series. And I did think it's going to be closer than what it was, but, like, it just felt like the Lakers couldn't continue to get away with it how they were getting away with it. Like, they were just, in my opinion, just clearly just trying harder than everybody else in the regular season.
Right. Yeah.
And just were absolutely no match for Minnesota when it came down to playoff time. I mean, dude, Minnesota's good, man. They are good. They are really good. And, I think they're going to take care of business against the Warriors. And I think they're going to give Oklahoma City a really good series if they get that far.
That's a fun take. I like it. I respect it for sure. Yeah, Wolves have looked good, and they're really good on the defensive side, with some big time stoppers, right?
Dude, they're built for it. They're built for it. And I'm not even gonna go in on the people saying, "Oh, you like the Wolves, but wait till Julius Randle gets back. You gotta wait for Julius Randle." Please hand over your card, your ball knowing card, please.
Here's a good take from Cody that he likes seeing Randall feeding off the confidence of Ant. There is something about the confidence of a unit like there. Nick brings up a good point for the dance streets there. Do you like OG or Hart this evening?
Let's do Hart, but I do like Derek White more than both these guys. But,
oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's take Hart and see what happens. Papa AIDS flipped the board, got a little funky on the right hand side there. Did the Chet and J-Dub one. He goes Derek White and OG. I think Aaron Gordon's probably the pick here, but I'll hear you out.
No, I think it's Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, I tend to agree that there's a bit of a tier break with the Gordon one there. I really like the way Gordon's playing right now. Yeah, this is interesting take in terms of the dance contest in particular, where it's like Wolves winning in 5 makes it kind of hard because we thought that series could go deep. Those tack on 3-man stacks would score enough fantasy points to matter. Like, pushing Wolves through, even though they won, is going to be kind of difficult, especially on the teams that did it without Ant, because Ant was kind of the score you needed at the guard position for that. But even so, he didn't outscore some of the other guards who played more games, right?
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I really just needed that series to go 6. If that series goes 6, I'm cooking. I'm absolutely cooking.
Yeah. GA rolling through to tell us Wolves in 5 again. JGFC says he's feeling the Nez Pick 'em TM today. Nez, are you cooking right now? What do we got? What do we got that we can fire up after this?
We'll have to wait and see. I'll peruse the lobby and see what's speaking to me for sure. I'll let you know.
Okay, cool.
Don't you worry.
I like Michael Porter here. Feels good.
Yeah, that's a smash.
Yeah, I mean, 5th round. If you could pinpoint Nez like the one thing that wins tonight, what would it be? 6th round Holiday? Would it be 6th round Horford? Would it be 5th round Porter? Like, what would be the one thing that you would pound the table for? I think we both like Horford here.
Yeah, I think it would be Horford with a Jokic team.
Horford with the Jokic team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's the leading favorite for what wins and how.
I like that. I like that take. What would you anticipate if you get a Horford fall to 24 there? What would you anticipate that 2nd and 3rd round pick that you need with Joker being?
I would be shocked if you see any like major fallers there. But probably let's say Josh Hart and Jaylen Brown. There we go.
Okay. Josh Hart and Jaylen Brown. That seems fun. A little flip the board there, and then a little Horford fall. Jokic paired with Towns, probably from Nick there. Towns almost made it back in this room here. It just takes one guy. Here's a red badge player, Papa Aids on the end, going, I'm flipping this board. Chet never makes it back to 12, so I'll just do that there. Like, yeah, it's cool.
I've got a ton of Jokic with Chet.
Yeah, that checks out. The way they line up. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a tall task to ask J-Dub to outscore Jokic, but I mean, Jokic only on 2 nights rest, and stranger things have happened. We've only seen one massive true Joker game in the postseason thus far when he was dealing with Zubac, and Hartenstein's going to be equally as tough an assignment there.
Should be a good game. I hope so.
Nez,
I hate when the playoffs are blowouts.
Yeah, likewise. Were you cooking in the lobbies there for a second, or should I give you a couple extra minutes to cook here before we drop the pick 'em on the people?
Well, what kind of like pick 'em are we talking? Like NBA, or I guess since that's what we're on, NBA.
Yeah, I think we can cook. I think we can cook for the people in both regards, but I think we start with NBA.
Okay.
Is there anything that's popping to you?
Anything that's popping?
I'll tell you.
Good.
I'll tell you market-based projections right now on Unabated showing a slight edge. Granted, their projections are not out for another hour and a half. Evergreen reminder. But market-based projections from Unabated showing a slight lower on Russell Westbrook and showing a slight higher on Lou Dort, both of the PRA variety there. Found those ones interesting. If those tickle your fancy. Other than that, cook, son.
I think we kind of go to like the Knicks threes narrative and OG Anunoby threes, but okay. I'm not doing a 0.77. Let's just say he hits 3 threes and start this off with a 1.39x. Seems palatable.
We discussed how we need that auxiliary scoring, in particular 3-point shooting, if they're going to dare trade threes there. So we'll level this bad boy up to the 2.5 or the 3.5.
I did 2.5.
Perfect.
Let's try to hit one.
That. Yeah, we'll add that one in there for the 1.39x. What else do you like?
I really like Drew Holiday assists, 3.5.
Okay.
I think you can get that. It's in his position, point guard. I think, or is it? Yeah, 3.5 assists. Yep. Yeah. I think that'll work.
That got me, dude. That was a fun one. I like that one. Do you want to add a third to this? Nick is suggesting a little slider on the Hartenstein rebound stuff. I do think the Hartenstein minutes and role will be expanded this evening. But if you just want to cook with these two, this is you leading the charge here, my friend.
So if we
This card.
if we play these two
Yeah.
and they hit,
Mhm.
yes, people win some money, we win some money.
Mhm.
Is it enough? Is it enough to brag about on the platform known as X? Can we really brag with a bang? Community gets home, big night for the community. Like, can I feel like we need a third.
I feel, Nez, that lesser people than you and I would double bang this. They would Chris or Mike Breen the fuck out of this. I got a buddy named Chris Breen, almost Freudian slip there.
Boom, docs, don't dox the homie.
Don't dox the homie. Yeah, the double bang Mike Breen does not get home with just two here. We gotta play to win, man.
All right. Well, I mean, no pressure on Nick, but I think we look Hartenstein's way.
All right. I respect that, dude. I think we were both kind of our whole breakdown was like, yo, Hartenstein's gonna play some ball tonight,
Yeah, let's just like keep it centered around our favorite plays. Like, why wouldn't we? That'd be
Why not?
kind of strange to do anything else. I mean, I don't even think we need a slide. Just do 8.5 boards here. Yeah,
Fully agree.
take it to the bank.
Love it. We will do something with this extender. We will start a new series. We will do that with Pete, and we'll cook something up. We haven't picked a series yet, have we?
No, we haven't. We have not yet.
All right. No, that's not gonna work. Oh my! Are you kidding me? 56 USD gets you 509.03 back there. We got to make it move. We got to feel something. 56 is the number there, Nez. Hartenstein higher, 8.5 rebounds. Drew Holiday higher, 3.5 assists. It's called, as Kobe Shorts puts it, it is called the assist guard position. And then OG cooking up a couple threes. They're going to need some catch and shoot. They're going to need some perimeter scoring this evening. It comes by way of OG Anunoby and not Mikal Bridges. This is the 3-point guy you need this evening. I like what you cooked, Nez. I really like.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a fun one. I think for those playing along at home, the Westbrook lower stuff and the Lou Dort higher PRA stuff looked good according to the initial run of Unabated. So if you want to do the mix and match and water down the plays here, I would throw those two out right now as well. Nez, let's do quick and dirty version of baseball, and then let's get my first BBM draft of the season under our belts here. I did a couple baseball this morning, and a lot is hinging upon whether this Yankees game plays or not this evening. They're anticipating steady rain throughout, but SP2 and SP3 and draft position 101 are all from that game right now. So some ADPs are going to flip in a big way here, especially at the position of the pitcher, the purple position there, because it does seem to be a very top heavy pitching slate here. And then there's kind of like, some whack-a-mole targets at the back end here. So yeah, just thoughts on the macro landscape of the slate and thoughts on the pitching dynamic.
Yeah, we kind of have to talk about the Yankees because, like you said, so much of the slate is centered around that game. I looked last night, and it really did look bad weather-wise. But the weather forecast change, the models adjust, and according to Roth, he thinks that this game might actually take off now. So he's got it a yellow orange. So I think we're pretty good, man. I think we're good here and ready to play. We can. Do you want to look at the radar? I'm about to pull it up. If you want me to share my screen, and
yeah, that'd be great.
We can take a look. Yeah, let's let me find the Bronx on this map here of New York. I think if we just go into like New York City, you guys can help me in the chat because I don't know where the Bronx is as far as boroughs go on a map, but we need Easy or one of our New York residents to help us out here. So Here we go. I got it pulled up. I'm trying to add it.
Let's see. Oh, there we
Try
go.
it again. Okay, here we are.
Perfect.
Let's see. We can get a look at like 4 o'clock, which is around game time. Oh, looks like a lot of rain. Really looks like a lot of rain. Like it's supposed to rain all day, and then we get this clearing, and
What
then it's
time's that
clear,
at?
and it's around 4 o'clock.
Huh.
So you get a clearing, but it's gonna be like off and on rain. I think honestly, man, I think you just say hashtag weather's fake and
And you play it.
play.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's very interesting. That gives me a little bit more confidence because I do like the pitching in that game. Like I do like Nick Pivetta tonight, and Nick Pivetta was falling in the morning drafts quite far. So yeah, I mean it's not going to be one of the best hitting conditions on the slate with the temperatures and with the rain in general. Like we could definitely find some better hitting conditions on this slate. But yeah, that's a good takeaway there that we think this game has the ability to go this evening. Nez, weather excluded, let's talk about your favorite games and or stacks on the slate here. Sorry, we should finish pitcher. Because those two were that was the reason we brought it up was Pavetta and Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, these guys. I mean, I like both of them today. But I was fading initially. Like I was avoiding this game like the plague early on. So
Okay.
I gotta change that because it's looking like it's gonna play, and you can't not have Aaron Judge in your portfolio.
Yeah, no, for sure. Both him and Fernando Tatis, like it doesn't really matter who they're going up against on a given night. It's going to look like a spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think I prefer the Pavetta spot over the Carlos Rodon spot, but so does the field appear to as well. Yankees lineup right now, they have some power obviously in it, but they are quite watered down in terms of their real talent because they're missing Jazz in the middle of that lineup and that sort of thing. And there's a lot of strikeouts available in this lineup. It's home runs or strikeouts. So and Pavetta's a banger bust guy, right? Like he's a guy that he's either going to strike out 8 or 9 plus in an isolated start, or he's going to give up 3 or 4 long balls. Like that's just kind of who he is. So classic short slate dynamics of talking out of both sides of your mouth. But I will play a little bit of both sides of this, and this Trent Grisham, Ben Rice stuff with the lefties at the top of the lineup can't last forever, can it, Nez?
I don't know. I don't know, man. It might.
Yeah.
It just might. I have no problem riding the hot hand at home. I mean, they're a completely different team at home. Just
that's a good point.
Entirely different team.
Yeah, good shouts there in general. Let's talk about kind of some of these auxiliary pitching options. Myself, I was kind of soft fading. Basically soft fading that next tier from Boyd through Michaelis, and I was taking AJ Smith-Shawver and doing that kind of route a little bit late to get a little contrarian there. I was preferring the bats in the Mariners and Athletics game more so than the pitching, despite them being professional ass pitchers. I was just seeing 81 degrees in Sutter Health Small Park and was like, I'll play bats instead of pitching here. Matthew Boyd has been going kind of nice, but journeyman lefty who was once upon a time a decent prospect and now is kind of having a resurgence to his career here. Obviously in a good park or in an okay park to pitch today there. But thoughts on this kind of like next big grouping?
I have Matthew Boyd pushed up pretty high.
Okay, so you like Boyd in general?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Boyd is really not much different from Pivetta and Rodon today.
Cool.
He's been going pretty well, so good, decent park to pitch in as well. And then after that, I like Brady Singer next. Brady Singer looks nice this season. We've seen him look nice in for the Royals a couple of years back. With the Reds now. having a nice start to his season. And as far as this slate goes, like he just is to me one of the better options. And then Miles Michaelis is who I would put next after that.
Ooh, spicy. Miles Michaelis has a big fly ball problem. I don't know if it is today that he finally gets crushed for it against the lowly Pirates offense right now. But I low key prefer Pirates bats to Miles Michaelis today, which I did not think I would be the one saying it. I thought you would be saying it, but yeah, I'm gonna have some Pirate stacks today and some contrarian Pirate stacks today.
I love it. Michaelis just continues to just like get away with it. So,
Yeah,
you know,
Eric Fetty esque, same
100%,
dude. Spider-Man meme, same dude.
100%.
I like that, dude. I like that. I think if you get no Jordan in this Houston lineup, you can go scroll the F down to Tobias Myers here, and you can go, especially if you're going to need swaps if the weather doesn't break the right way. He was going to be my contrarian swap option there. Yeah, it's not sexy. It's not fun. I'm just looking at a dude who could maybe go 5 or 6 and has the ability to get righties out, and that's all Houston has right now is righties. And that Jordan Q tag, after missing the last 2 games, there, could get a little bit of leverage there. I will say that Blanco has a left-handed power problem, and that sets up pretty well for Christian Yelich in particular there in that other one. But you could play both these guys, or you can stack against them both, and I'd be totally fine with that. Yeah. Any other thoughts on anyone else in the pitching pool, Nez?
No, those are like the main pieces that I am getting to today.
Cool. Yeah, I respect it. Griffin Canning, he's been going really nice in recent memory, but this is a tough spot. This Arizona lineup has been killing righties. We attacked them so much last year when they were killing, they were lefty killers, and this year they're killing righties. So yeah. All right, cool. Purple Yosh asking a question here. When do you not get a swap for weather? So basically, you don't get a swap for weather if the game gets postponed, or rain delay, and then all the other games have started. Then there's nothing left to swap to. So in the instance of, I guess it was 2 nights ago, slate there where people were waiting on Dodgers and Braves to start. If that game had never started, then all those are just zeros, right? Yeah. Yeah, but today's split up pretty nice because you could definitely get some contrarian late game swaps because there's 3 hours difference between the start in the Bronx and the start in Sacramento there. So you could get some swaps to that.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, if the game does not start first. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah, it can't start at all.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Nez, I kind of tipped my hand a little bit with some of the stacks that I was liking and enjoying today. So I'm very interested to hear you go first here. Some of the stacked and or isolated bats you are an enjoyer of today.
I have been doing a good bit of Mets today, and Arizona. Both sides of that game, I am getting to. Ryan Nelson looks like he has pretty nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And his underlying stats this season do look good, but I think this is his first start of the season this year. I don't think he's actually appeared as a starter.
Yeah,
yet.
long relief guy.
Mm-hmm. And the Mets are rolling right now. The Mets are just a good lineup. So liking that spot there. Both these teams are chalky with like their first players off the board, but you can still stack them like fairly easily after that. And evergreen athletics, man. Athletics very cheap today against Bryce Miller. Sutter Health
81 degrees.
Bombs away.
Yeah. Yeah, Ballpark Pal isn't showing like a huge boost in that ballpark just based on the wind and whatever there, but we know that both those teams have some big power bats. That was my favorite of the contrarian stacks thus far that are kind of contrarian, but not fully contrarian. I do think the two chalk stacks of Mets and Arizona, I fully agree with you, are kind of the best of the bunch there. Then I saw myself gravitating towards both Mariners and Athletics. And then I found myself going to a little bit of Pittsburgh and a little bit of Atlanta today. I like Atlanta, dude. Relative to the ADPs, I think Atlanta's a little buried down here, and I know Brady Singer's been good. What the hell? Why can't I spell? This is why was I blanking on Atlanta? Yeah, these guys are all kind of like in the 30s, buried down here a little bit there. You get some lefties at the top of the lineup in Matt Olson and Verdugo, who's going to be free. Michael Harris, nobody ever drafts. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of like some contrarian Atlanta bats today.
Yeah, given their ADPs, I think they make a lot of sense to get to today. If this is indicative at all of their drafted percentage, yeah, they look really good today.
Yeah. Nez, I wanted to bring up one just interesting baseball note. That our guy Jay Hay, the Nugget chef, um, from Baseball's Dead pod had up here. We did a little segment early in the year there where we were talking about Mookie Betts and Mookie Betts' bat speed and how it was down when he was recovering from the injury and he lost the weight and that sort of thing. These are the largest year over year drop in bat speed thus far this season. And I just thought it was very interesting that we're all going to be playing Mets today. And we did a little segment how basically a mile per hour in bat speed equates to about 7 feet of carry and travel. I don't know what to do with this information, but I just found it really interesting that 3 of the top 5 players in largest year over year were Mets guys, according to the data that Jay Hay found. So I just wanted to bring that up and share that with everyone. I'll retweet that so you guys can go see it or whatever. So I just found it interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like by design or, these guys just trying to, get caught up to speed literally here. Like, I am kind of curious if this is because, like, 3 Mets,
Right.
3 really good hitters from the
Yeah.
Mets that are not even like having bad seasons right now. Like,
Mhm.
it's interesting.
Yeah, there was actually another note that he had up there that OPS plus right now, I think it was, or
Yeah, I saw that one
yeah.
for
Of
Soto.
Soto was OPS plus right now for Juan Soto is 133, and people are like, oh, he's having like a bad year, bad start, whatever, and that's higher than any point in Jose Ramirez's career. And it's like, oh, Soto's off to such a bad start
Yeah, for his career, it's
for his career.
yeah, yeah, and like and other like big names. That tweet honestly made me mad more than anything. But it's just the truth. It's just the truth.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something in the recording data to the fact that there's 3 Mets on this list. Like the way in which it's being tracked
Right.
in their park or something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, a lot of these teams do have like, you know, inconsistencies or, usually like if there's a trend, sometimes there is a reason why. So that also could be it.
Yeah, I never even thought about it from the coaching angle, like you said, like the adjustment, like they made
Hmm.
adjustments to be like longer through the zone or like flatter bat path, and that would create more of like drag and swing speed lag.
Could very well be it.
Yeah, I don't know. Just found it interesting, especially
Yeah.
on Mets chalk day. There, Duke Dean dropping by. Greeting, gents. Greetings, my friend.
What up, dude?
Um, all right, dude. I think we kind of did all we needed to do and say there. Cal Raleigh leads the world in home runs right now, and now he goes to a park where the home runs smash.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, probably won't play a ton of White Sox or a ton of Kansas City today. I'm not going to chase all those one-off home runs when they had the best hitting conditions on the slate yesterday because it doesn't look the same today. Yeah, any other macro thoughts?
I think, you know, just the fact that or never mind. Sorry, I was confused for a moment, but I will say the different than what I was about to say. Cubs, hitting conditions don't look great, but they're going up against Landon Roop, whatever his name is, and the Cubs bats are just like on fire right now, and we're looking at Seiya Suzuki with like a 34.6 ADP. Low on Cubs seem worth chasing.
Yeah, good shout there. Everyone's chasing the PCA hot streak. Everyone's got Kyle Tucker propped up as rightfully so. He's one of the best hitters in baseball. But just getting to some potentially contrarian Cubs there. Implied run total of just south of 4, which is just kind of in the same area as the Pirates, as the Cardinals, as the Mariners, as the Athletics. So if you're going to be getting to those teams, what's the difference in a 4 and a 4.5 where the Mets go every single time and they have a 4.5 and you just go to the team that has a 3.95 or whatever instead, right? Yeah, pretty. There's no like real like. I think Mets and Diamondbacks are chalk for a reason, and outside of that, it's very choose your own adventure today. And I will be playing, more Braves than most people. I think would be my first starting point, and then I like Cubs as you alluded to. That feels good. I did have a couple lineup notes just in general. If you're playing Diamondbacks, I think Pavin Smith is in there and starts today and hits third, and nobody was drafting him earlier. Randy Rosarina tweaked his hamstring. I don't think he plays baseball today, although it didn't sound overly serious, and they were up 7 runs they were down 7 runs when they took him out of the ball game. So there was another note. Soderstrom had off day yesterday, which means he's a lock to be in there today in the 3 hole. What was my other note? Brewers. Dude, the 2 guys who lead the league in ground ball rates are Christian Yelich and Willem Contreras this season. They are just pounding the shit out of the ball into the ground, like 62 and 64% ground ball rates. So we're going to need those guys to start lifting the fucking baseballs. Yeah. Anyways, those were my notes that basically Yelich has been bad outside of just the one series at Coors where he lifted a couple. All right, let's do a draft.
Let's do it. Gonna take a look at.
No, I clicked the autopilot.
Oh no.
No, we're good. Ain't pushing the plane on stream.
Come on now.
I know you can.
Good.
No, just while you were saying that, the autopilot feature there, I did look and see a couple times on the app there that the app has now adjusted and you can do mass entry from mobile. So if you guys are doing, you guys see us do that on desktop all the time, I can now see it on mobile. So that's awesome. That's a great amendment there for drafting at lock because when you're doing the mobile drafting, especially with multi-sports all locking at the same time, this time of year in particular, you're clicking this one and then in and in and in and in, and now you can just go 5, 5, 5, and you're in 15 drafts all at once. It's perfect. I love it.
Yep. Yeah, that was huge, especially for a sport like baseball where you are typically wanting to be in your drafts and seeing what you're doing. You can do multi-table baseball fairly easily. So I love that got added to the app. That was huge.
Yes, likewise, man. All right, dude. What are we thinking here?
Well, just Brett going with Reagan's. I wonder if people are still weather pilled. Guess not. There goes Judge. And then Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt goes there.
Hard not to want to start with Ellie.
I'm not really playing Reds today, but I'll follow you down this road here. Let's do it.
I mean, we don't have to stack Ellie. Mm-hmm. Stolen bases don't really matter for his teammates.
That's true. There is one teammate that I do like in particular today, and that lineup is getting stronger today, Nez. They are getting Tyler Stevenson back in the middle of that lineup. Yeah. So lefty killer, not a lefty on the mound today, but yeah.
Yeah, good point there. Yes, Cal Raleigh going really high today. I get it, but his ADP is fake.
Home run leader in baseball right now.
I mean, they don't call him Big Dumper for no reason.
Big thumper soon, buddy. There we go. We see now Ricky going with the Atlanta stack to start. I like that one. I do want to throw this out there, Nez, that yesterday I had a nice day. Those 48 drafts. I was very heavy on Baltimore and the Royals there, but I had no Miguel Garcia in my life, and maybe a little bit of a mistake on my part that I have to be more intentional. I think we take Soto here. We both like Mets.
Yeah.
Little contrarian ADP faller start there. Maybe we could do some Mets. Maybe we could do some Reds. Maybe we'll do a different 3 stack here and see what happens. But I did all the combinations, of India and Perez and Witt and this sort of thing, and never once did I just click one scroll a little bit further down to get Miguel Garcia in there, who's a guy who hits the baseball hard, right? Are you anticipating a 2 solar homer output? No, absolutely not. But one thing that I did really notice when Easy ran a bunch of the S words, and we were talking about it on stream and that sort of thing, was the way you get to run totals in baseball is like way more unique than football, than basketball, and that sort of thing, where the Jackson Holiday 2 home run games exist, the 2 home run Miguel Garcia games exist, and that we should be getting a little bit crazier with our stacks. And the hardest stacks to get crazier with are the contrarian ones. I think we just take Alonso here.
Yeah, let's take Alonso and then try to put that lesson into practice. No, I mean, dude, it's obviously like extremely correct, and it could not have been more apparent than on both of yesterday's slates. Like, we saw that come to life with Trey Sweeney and Jackson Holiday, and it's been a bit of a frustrating start to my MLB season. I feel like every stack I'm in on goes off the next day. I ran a bunch of Pick Ems with the Royals yesterday, and Orioles. Just a bunch of just kind of did my a bunch of 2 pairings of home runs. If I just would have just ran that back the next day, I'd be a very happy person. So it's just just the way things are running out for me is a little annoying, but no, it's so true, and it's really, really hard to do when you are not having a good start to your season. So speaking for myself personally, it's harder to take a stand and do those plays when you haven't seen the ball go through the ball fly off the bat yet, to use a nice little baseball euphemism, and do those type of plays. It makes it harder. You just want to chase the best plays. So yeah, I mean, I got to try to mix that up a bit.
We got an ADP follower here in O'Neill Cruz, if you want to do that sort of thing, or we could do Matthew Boyd, who you said you liked.
Let's do Cruz, and then I promise we'll scroll.
We are ADP slapping it up, and GA is dunking all over me as usual in the chat here. No, Nez, I think that was well put, well articulated. I think it's a good thing. I think it's just a reminder that, like, even when you scroll stacks, right? Like, look at Ricky right now. He scrolled the F down and was like, okay, I'm doing an Atlanta stack. But he took the 2 main Atlanta bats, right? Anyone who stacks Atlanta is going to do Ozuna, Olsen, and Riley, right? Anyone who stacks a scroll the F down Seattle is going to do, it's a little less scrolly right now, but it's going to be, Cal Raleigh, Julio, Jorge. Like, it's just, if you just tweak one of those iterations, and just one of your drafts, you tweak that iteration, or because I think in particular, the scroll stacks are the hardest to deviate from, right? Because it's like, well, I already scrolled, right? Like I'm taking, 330 ADP guys. Like yesterday, Gunnar Henderson's ADP was like 31. It was like, yo, look, I already scrolled, right?
Yeah,
but
I know.
Yeah, but now you look at this play by Chris, boom, Drew Waters. Like, okay, now we're talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, for us here, it could be McLean, it could be Vientos. I think we take Matthew Boyd first, because you really like him today.
Yeah, let's take Boyd, and then we'll figure that out.
Yeah, so we could do a 2-2-1. We could add like Reynolds to this. We could add McLean, or we could scroll to another Met if we like the Met stack and take like Vientos, Nimmo, someone like that. Or we could do a contrarian one off. I don't know. What do you like?
I like doing I think a Met here, but let's just look at the Mets.
Mets are gonna have Lindor's gone, so Nimmo or Vientos, but now Ricky might take both or at least one of them there. I do think my Mets note that I did not share with everyone yet that I forgot about is Jesse Winker's going to go on the IL today. So that's going to open up some ABs in the middle of that lineup for someone left-handed. I think it's probably going to be Jeff McNeil, if I had to guess. But yeah, just something to be mindful of there. Jay wants an athletic one-off, like we could do like a Soderstrom or something like that.
No one that's. I mean, I don't want to be harsh. No. People that are winning at these games are not doing 2-1-1-1s.
Yes, I agree with you there.
What if we scroll to Francisco?
Alvarez?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Forgot there's another Francisco.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm good with it.
Big, beefy baseball boy.
Absolutely, man. A guy who hits the ball hard, but hits it into the ground a shitload. AA Blazers just took Willie Adames there. That is aging like one of my best fades thus far in Dinger season there. But that being said, all my guys are hurt because Michael L. Trout is the best player in the world and he's hurt now, so it makes me sad. I think that's good. I think we'll do the one MLB draft there. We did ourselves a 3-1-1. We had Ellie and O'Neill Cruz as kind of ADP faller one-offs there to go alongside Pete Alonso and Juan Soto. Pete Alonso, the NL Triple Crown leader right now, which is kind of cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, and he was the guy they didn't want, Nez. They wanted Soto, and they wanted to. How are we going to restructure Lindor? We got Nimmo signed to the extension, all this sort of stuff. And oh yeah, by the way, maybe we should bring this guy back, Triple Crown. And then we scroll the F down to Francisco Alvarez to go alongside our Mets stack. Non-zero chance that he could jump in front of Jeff McNeil in that batting order too today in the absence of Jesse Winker. And he shocks the world and hits, fifth or sixth. But most likely he'll be in the 7 hole today. All right, dude. I think it's time.
Oh, you're going in.
We're going in. My first BBM. I'm going to do 30-second just because it's my first and we're on stream. This is my first BBM draft of the hot best ball summer. I might need a little assistance here, though, Nez. I think maybe let me check something out here. See if I can get this thing going. I think I might need a little assistance from the good people at Legendary Upside to go alongside this draft, dude.
Yeah. I've been using their ranks just to like have as a guide. I'm making my own selections and stuff, but it's like nice to have, having them in my ear and say, oh, here's the rankings here. And because I've been mostly doing it on mobile, but I do have a sidekick. I am a sidekick enjoyer. Yeah, I got you for the part that you need the most help with, which is the beginning. You can do the scrolling. You can definitely do the scrolling, but at the 20-minute mark, I do need to sign off. But yeah, this is exciting. Your very first Best Ball Mania.
I am in here. Let's hold on. Let's see here. This is a little different for me because I got to use.
Yeah, usually.
I got to use
the Chrome.
I'm a Chrome guy. So let's see here. How's that look? Do we need one more zoom or is that good?
Yeah, do one more zoom, but like that placement looks good.
Beautiful.
Maybe one more.
One more zoom?
Just one. Yeah, nice.
Cool. All right. Get the board up there. See if we got some friends and family. In this one, Chris makes it in again. We got a former Dog Bowl champ and John Kirk in here with us. We got GA in here. Say what up if you are anybody else in the draft here. I see Respooked is in here with us as well. Jeremy's in the 10 hole. Bry's in the 101. Brian rolls the influencer 101 there. Man, this looks pretty clean right now. Maybe I'm a Firefox guy from here on out. Who knows, dude?
Firefox is where it's at a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
A little bit. Let me see if I can do. Can we make this thing look a little bit prettier? Nez, how many of the BBMs have you done thus far?
Just two, just my ones on stream. I've been doing the 20-second puppies though to like help myself get acclimated with the field and practice, stacking and seeing where guys are going and whatnot. The 20-second clocks, dude, are just awesome. They're so for the grinders. You're trying to cram in your volume. I mean, it's so awesome how quick these drafts go. Coupled with the autopilot feature now, where you miss picks, you're getting off the clock. It's awesome. So that's where I've been kind of doing my drafting so far.
I think I just realized.
Yeah, because you're gonna have to exit out of the.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this over here and that over. Maybe I'll put it.
I usually put it where the queue is.
Okay, cool.
I'm Genty here, by the way.
You like Genty? So the ball knowers at Leg Up are telling me Genty. I know that ETR likes Amon-Ra quite a bit. They have him, quite a bit higher there. So just comparing the two, I'm sneaky Neighbors pilled here, man. I think Neighbors quiet winner from the draft. I thought the Giants had a good draft. They bring in Dart and that sort of thing with the quarterback stuff, and they didn't go the way of adding Travis Hunter there. So I think Neighbors is in line to cook, dude.
I think you could easily paint a picture that Neighbors had a good offseason just because, he has 3 quarterbacks that are probably upgrades to what he had last year. So He has insurance policies now at QB, and the offense itself got better with, the Scatabo edition as well. He's another year older. So I don't think it's a terrible take, but man, I'm not missing an opportunity to take Genty, and damn.
So should we do a little teammate correlation here with Brock Bowers? This fancy little button is telling me that I could take a teammate here. We could go the running back route with Achan or something, or we could do Drake London. What do you like?
I think you do Bowers because I think they correlate.
Okay. We're making
they obviously do, they're teammates, but I don't think it's bad that you take both. I think, for both of those guys, if one's having a good season, chances are the other one is as well. And if they're both having great seasons, then, I think that they help raise each other's 1 percentile outcomes in the event that the Raiders are just a wagon.
Cool. Yeah, I respect that. I like that. I like that. Move the sidekick to the side here. See what other people are cooking up right now. I might have to go one less zoom here just to see what everyone. There you go. Now I can see the whole board. All right. Let's see. We started with this double Vegas start. We're going to be behind the Piss Boys a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Respook doing the AJ Brown pull up there. Neighbors falling to 13. Neighbors was a guy who was up in this 8, 9-ish range in those big boards every single time. And now all of a sudden only good things happen for him and he falls to 13. What's up with that?
Yeah, people, I think, don't love the ability to he's in my opinion right now, impossible to stack in the idea that what quarterback do you take? I don't think anybody can confidently say who's going to be playing quarterback there in week 17. It makes it a tough sell. Yeah. But so this is your first draft, and after the draft, man, some if you want some tales from me, somebody that's done double-digit drafts so far, not BBMs, but just drafts in general. I don't know who's good at wide receiver, and It's like it's ugly like right after round 3.
Okay.
Like I don't know who the good wide receivers are.
Okay.
Maybe you can help me.
I mean, I'm not gonna be able to tell you who the good. That's why I got the fucking sidekick, buddy. Look at all this orange on the left here. They're telling me which ones are the good ones. Here, this thing is snap taking them off the board, man. I don't know. I'm just kind of enjoying my first draft here, Nez. I think Tyreek Hill's a guy that I'm gonna be a little bit down on. I think Garrett Wilson there is probably fine. JSN feels a little rich to me, but I love JSN. He was a bit of a winner coming out of the draft, no?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, let's the ball knowers at Legendary Upside are telling me that we want Devontae Adams here. Wow, Tet's all the way up here. Tet at 33.
Oh yeah, man. Top 10 pick, good prospect.
Yeah. All right. Let's take Adams. You like Adams more than Tet?
Mm-hmm.
I think so too.
Yeah. I like Worthy more than Tet as well, but
Okay.
I do really like Tet McMillan. Like I thought he was a really good wide receiver prospect. Kind of got overshadowed with the fact that like Travis Hunter existed. So he kind of, took some spotlight away from him, but I like the trajectory of the Carolina Panthers and Bryce Young. Really good coach there as well. And I mean, immediately, like the wide receiver one. Immediately the wide receiver one.
Yeah, that is kind of fun.
In Carolina, obviously.
It's going to be an easy backstack too, because nobody's really going to fight you for like the Bryce stuff, will they? Like people be backstacking like
I have a lot of Bryce.
Or something.
Yeah, I'll do like Bryce and Coker as like an emergency stack, like a lot.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Which is probably stupid, but like, I don't know, man. I finally got to see it work, and you know me, man. I've been saying leave Bryce Young alone for years and years on this show.
Travis Hunter's new ADP is in the 40s here. Wow.
So
Hampton hasn't really moved, eh? Hampton's about the same as before, and he got a kind of nice landing spot there. Obviously not the greatest thing in the world that it's alongside Najee. Okay. Legendary Upside's telling us Tet. Brees Hall's at the top of ADP. Worthy is ahead of Tet. Do you like Worthy more than Tet?
I think so, man. I like Worthy, and let's also play the unknown of the schedule here. Like, we don't know. Well, maybe the divisional Week 17 matchup comes into play with Chiefs and Raiders.
Dude, these guys are playing checkers. You're out here playing 3D chess with that. Whoa, buddy.
Playing chess and dimensions they can't even fathom. They've never even experienced it.
That's legit.
So yeah, that's where I'm at there. Shoot, what was I gonna say? I forget, but yeah, I like Xavier Worthy.
I like it indeed. Fletch, what up? Ball is life. What up? Bry saying that Neighbors goes at pick 2 in his last draft and then pick 13 in this one. So early season variance on the Neighbors stuff. Duke asking if we like ETR or legendary upside projections. Honest to God, if you're going to play multiple entries into any contest this summer, I would invest in both just because of the way it is and the price points of each. But we're using the legendary upside stuff right now, and this is the sidekick tool in which we are using, and I love it, man. This is very smooth to interact with. So we're leg up slappies for sure.
Yeah, it's just helpful for guys like us, multi-sport draftleets. Helps us, stay on track with the field and know where the ball is going, where the puck is going in terms of ADP, so we're not falling too behind some of these risers. I remember what I was going to say now.
Yep.
Do you think where do you think Travis Hunter's ADP ends up in August, late August?
I don't know, man. I can't imagine he gets higher than this. But if you find out that he's only playing offense and like he flashes in preseason or something like that, where like we know it's going to be 100% offense and like 60% defense or 100 and 100, people are going to go crazy with it just because it's so fun. And everybody's been glowing about, him as a wide receiver prospect, right? Like everyone's smart that only analyzes wide receivers are like, oh yeah, he's basically neighbors level, or like he's Brian Thomas level
Well,
kind of
dude,
thing,
that's what I'm
which is
saying. He was
crazy.
the number 2 pick in the NFL
Yeah,
draft
yeah,
last year. I mean, let's just pretend it wasn't Marvin Harrison. It's an unknown player, and he's a wide receiver, and he's
yeah,
taken at number 2 in the draft as a wide receiver. He's
yeah.
going in like the first round. You know,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is Travis Hunter with Trevor Lawrence in a brand new offense.
Mhm.
I think Travis Hunter is going to continue to climb. And I'm going to say, I'm going to plant my flag, and I'm not going to get too crazy, but I think 2-3 turn is where he becomes a staple.
Oh, buddy. Oh, Chris Olave, um, Mixon. There's a kind of a pocket of running backs here. Who do you like, Nez?
Ooh, man. I
I
love
don't like
Jawan
Olave.
Jennings.
You like Jawan
I
Jennings?
like Jawan.
All
Yeah.
right.
I
We'll
think
take
Jawan
Jawan
Jennings
Jennings.
is a bit of a dog.
All right. Dude, can you imagine last year at this moment, last year, and
No,
I told you
no.
we're going to be drafting Jawan Jennings over Joe Mixon, Ken Walker, Kamara, Olave, Roma Doomsday, who just got drafted in the first round at like pick 5 or 6 or something like that. You're a fucking idiot. That's
No.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would not believe you. Not believe you.
Yeah.
But here we are. And I think Jennings showed me a lot. I think Jennings showed me a lot. Ayuk likely to start the season, or there's a chance he starts the season off on pup, missing 4 games. I still think I'll take Jennings over Ricky. I still like the coach in San
Yep.
Francisco. I still like Brock Purdy.
Yep.
Um, I think things look good for Juwan.
All right. I respect it, dude. I'm gonna lean here because I'm not buying this. I know they're the ball knowers, and I'm not the ball knower yet, Nez, when it comes to this football stuff. But I'm
Oh
looking
boy.
at legendary upside rankings on the left side. I'm looking at the sidekick on the right side. Sidekick's telling me Olave. I'm not trusting this Chris Olave stuff. I'm scared of the concussions. I say we do Ken Walker here.
I knew we were about to get a laundry pick. I just knew we were about to get a laundry
Fine.
pick. Yeah.
Fine.
Oh,
Fine.
let's
We're
go
flipping it.
Slappy. We're going
We're
Slappy.
going Slappy. We're chasing Judkins up the board, bro. You called me a Slappy. We're taking all these fun, sexy rookie running backs. He wins the job in Cleveland. Nick Chubb does not come back despite all the hype videos that Lev keeps posting of how good he looks athletically. And we're going full Slappy, bro, here.
I like Judkins a lot. I really
Okay.
do. I think
Yep.
Judkins, from a fantasy standpoint, is a
Yep.
better running back than Travion Henderson, who people were expecting Travion to go ahead of Judkins. But I
I
mean,
was.
Travion's just like, yeah, like really well put together as a running back. But I thought Judkins had more juice. He kind of is giving me more of like Ken Walker type of like home run hitter of a type of running back, in my opinion.
Okay.
Very fun landing spot in Cleveland. Just who's playing quarterback in Cleveland? One of the 11 dudes in that QB room. But
Yeah.
imagine they're going to want to run the ball if they can help it.
Dude, if we get like, I'm not gonna go crazy and go like, yo, we get a full season's worth. But if we get a bunch of Joe Flacco this year, that'd be fun as fuck.
So like he wasn't good last year though.
But he was good the year
You know,
before with the Browns.
I know, right? So like,
He
can
was
it
so
it just
fun.
happen again?
Yeah, right. Can't we
Can it
just
just
run that
happen
back?
again? Yeah,
Like
why
he
not?
definitely had some fantasy games that were usable last year. He wasn't to the level in which he was for that 5 game stretch with the Browns 2 years ago. But like, I'm
I don't
down.
even know that he did. Like, I'm not even sure that he did. Like,
That's fair.
didn't he get like unbenched? Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he got unbenched. Yeah, he got
Well,
unbenched.
well,
Yeah.
no, he got rebenched. Sorry. He got unbenched, aka he got tapped as a starter, and
Yeah,
then they said, "Actually, sit your ass down. We're not really sure what's going on."
yeah. Austin goes with RJ Harvey and Alvin Kamara. So he's going double Sean Payton narrative from two different walks of life there.
Man, are you gonna have any RJ Harvey this year?
That's a pretty steep price tag, but I understand the thesis. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I don't think Bo Nix runs as much as the world perceives he runs. And we saw that at the tail end of last year when we were doing those isolated slates. So I don't think he's as big a threat to run at the goal line as we once thought when he was a rookie. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, they also I mean they bring in a running back that they didn't have, and they kept all the other guys that they did have where he was
Except for
running. So yeah,
Javante.
if anybody's gonna get it, well, yeah, but the point being, the running back room is terrible.
Right.
So I can understand the thesis 100%, but
What was his ADP in the big board? Fuck.
like 130 something.
Oh, he had
He
Rice.
had
Okay,
rostered
fine. Austin, he's forgiven.
off the
I
hook.
really wanted that. I really wanted that to come back there. Nez sidekick is telling me Khalil Shakir, and I'm saying no. What do you like here?
Do you want to do Luther Burden, Igbuka? I think we should go wide receiver personally.
Let's do Ayuk.
Or Ayuk.
Let's set up a little double stack with that San Fran stuff.
Okay.
Take Ayuk there. Ayuk could be a big riser if we get good health news in the future.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like Shakir to me is just like so vanilla. Like he's just so meh. He's like a stack only guy for me mentally. Like Luther,
No, I
I'm
get
like,
it. Like Shakir feels so uninspiring. Like as
yeah,
a pick. What are we doing with this? What are we getting here? You know?
yeah.
I just don't like it. I'm with you.
Igbuka feels like I wanted a different landing spot, and I'm not going to chase this one unless I'm building out like Baker doubles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough. I kind of like a rookie running back again here, but
okay, we could talk. We could talk. We'll see. Maybe don't share that knowledge just yet because I want to see this. I was smashing Flacco in playoff
2
basketball.
years ago.
That was
Yes, it was.
yeah, that was for sure the move. Because we talked about that one as like, yo, he could smash the slate, be a scorer you use, and they still lose, and you could go like naked quarterback and just do like a skinny back stack that nobody wanted. Okay, so Baker goes there. I'm looking, Purdy's got an ADP of 107. That probably comes back when we have both, right?
It should.
Okay. Who do you like? You like Cam?
I do like Cam.
Dude, I wanna be the Cam guys.
Let's do it.
Let's be the Cam guys. Oh shit!
Let's cue him up. I got excited.
Don't worry.
And
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah. No, so I say this as somebody that liked Tyron Tracy. Like, I just don't know. It's hard to take those stats seriously, or like, I don't know what to do with those stats. I still think that he is a good football player. I didn't see anything that looked, I thought he was pretty athletic, but Scatabo, that's a traditional running back. That to me was a pick that of somebody that's gonna play a lot. I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing some Scatabo steam as well.
Yeah, let's be the white running back guys. Bring it back. Peyton Hillis 2.0.
The world needs somebody somebody support the white running backs. No one's done that before in history.
They're extinct. Dude, that's an interesting one. I just came up with a lazy ass comp in my mind with the Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy reminds me of Antonio Gibson, where it was like, like it was like he played wide receiver, then now we're going to convert him to a running back, and he's a good pass catcher, and he flashes in spurts. And it's the type of player that the fantasy community wants to get really excited about and wants to love and care about. But then when it comes to real life, like nose grinding football, the old ball guys are like, nah, that can't be our lead running back.
Exactly. That's sort of like where I'm at too. With Dayball still there, like this is the season to save their jobs. So I'm reading in heavily to every decision that they made this offseason. But John, I do got a dip. So
Yep.
you
Sounds
think
good,
you can
my
handle
friend.
it from here?
Yeah. You know what? Can you wait like 11 seconds before you dip?
Okay.
All right. 1 second.
I'll help this guy out. This guy needs a bathroom break badly, especially when he's got to finish out the draft. But yeah, guys, hang out with John. Please guide John in the correct direction. Help him with this draft. Maybe get a couple picks ahead. Say, hey, John, be on the lookout for this and that, because he's going to struggle and he's going to scroll to some ungodly name at some point. I don't know who it is, but I know you're going to get a really ugly scroll. So please help him. Guide his hand. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. And let us get Brock Purdy as well. Please let Brock Purdy fall to us.
All right, here we go. I'm not built like Scott Hansen, man.
No,
Scott Hansen. I ain't built like that, man.
they're gonna give you a hand. I begged the chat to help you and to not leave you without a paddle. Yeah. So they're gonna give you some good advice.
Our guy Steven liking that we're back doing this.
I'm liking that you're here.
I love it. I love it. My favorite John bit is becoming Sidekick says we should take X player. So we're not going to do that.
No way. It's good to have, but
it's awesome. It's awesome. It's such a great tool. And then just to nah wave it is such a good bit. Like, these guys know ball. These guys do a lot of research. This costs a lot of money. This is a really good usable tool. Well, John thinks he should do this.
Well, you gotta go with the John model sometimes.
Yeah, the bro science John model. I keep flipping back between ADP and the ranks and stuff just to get a look. So I think I'm going to keep it on ADP so we can kind of follow what everyone's seeing, and then Sidekick is following kind of like the leg up stuff. So then that'll be a good contrast. I think this is the pick, ain't it? There we go. Nez stays for the good karma. We get the quarterback stack to come all the way back to ADP here. We go ahead and we draft Brock Purdy there. Love it. All right, Nez. I will see if I can crash this plane harder than any man has ever crashed this plane before.
I believe in you.
We will see you tomorrow.
I believe in you.
Hey,
yes, you will.
Before Nez leaves, tomorrow, off and on the clock with Pete. First one of all three of us since the draft. And I think we're going to go head first into sprint or weekly winners tomorrow.
Yes. Sprint tomorrow.
All right. We are going to be sprinting to the podium. We are going to be doing football related content tomorrow for you guys. And maybe we will sneak in a cheeky paywall for the baseball and that sort of stuff there. But main show for everyone tomorrow will be off and on the clock. Yeah, that'll be that.
Yeah. See you guys then. Good luck, John. Land the plane, buddy.
I will try my best.
Sully Sullivan over here.
The Hudson is coming. All right. This is good stuff here. We this is, Pat is in charge of this product. When I look down and I see Drake May and Jalen Warren as my top options here in the 10th round. This is not a surprise to me here that we are seeing these guys at the top. Not a lot of wide receivers available in this range. Ooh, if you take Kyle Williams and Drake May, do you get a little? I don't know if we can push Kyle Williams like that. Let's do Sharps. Let's play the hits. Let's play the hits on Sharps. We love drafting Sharps. Why not keep the train rolling? Sidekick suggested it to us as well, for the record. But we already got one quarterback. Where are you guys at structurally right now? Because the quarterback price tags, there kind of seems like a couple pockets where these premium names are all going in like the 3rd and 4th round. over and over again. And as the recreationals come into play here, I think those names get steamed up. Like Jalen Hurts people are gonna rise it and overstack it. So I think like quarterbacks look like obvious rise candidates to me in this range. I think the rookies are really priced up right now, just given the landscape. That would be like my first takeaway is like everyone's excited now that we have landing spots to keep pounding the table for these rookies. Like Trey Harris at 104, Kyle Williams at 113. Are we just doing the same thing as the Jalen Polk stuff all over again with Kyle Williams? I know people like Kyle Williams more as a prospect, but we talked ourselves into Jalen Polk last year. But at least we've seen a little bit from Drake May now. Yeah. GA 9 18th round picks incoming. I mean, I'll be the first to remind everybody that mean projection from rounds 10 through 18 largely don't fucking matter at all because everyone's going to be about the same. Like we're talking about like 7.6 points a week versus like 8.3. And it's like, yeah, we could go crazy with it. Okay, here. Vrabel being a better coach. So Vrabel over Mayo is the bet on the New England stuff more so than like, okay. All right. I respect that take. I respect that. You're saying I got to scroll every pick or he's out. I'm going to try my best to do this intelligently. Jack Bash is all the way up here. We already got 2 of the Vegas pieces there. Is this just like undoubtedly a Geno team? What's Geno's ADP? 26. Now we're playing the damn hits. If we end up with a Geno double stack in our first BBM on a different team than Seattle, we're absolutely playing the hits out here. If that's how we land this plane. Okay, interesting. So ADP is clearly fake in this because I anticipated a quarterback run here. Like just based on what ADP was showing, I anticipated a quarterback run from like 10 and 11. And we didn't get any quarterbacks going off. We got 2 of them coming off. Interesting. So I wonder what the Drake May leg up ranking is then. 107. Yeah. So the rankings have all of these next tier quarterbacks priced up, but ADP does not. So Legendary Upside is skewing a little bit quarterback heavy in this range of the draft, anticipating prices of quarterbacks moving up or not loving the pocket of players right there. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. Njoku gives us another out. Geno. Wow, the yellow tab is gone. We need yellow tab in a big way. Okay, let's do Njoku. It gives us another stacking option if we want to go the Flacco route. But man, that Browns QB room is so gross. Gabriel Sanders, Kenny Pickett as well, right? Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Deshaun Watson with that big ass contract. Wow. What the hell are the Browns going to do? I don't know if you guys saw the Dom tweet today. Pure clickbait from whatever that account's called. Dom, whatever his name is, saying that injuries derailed Deshaun Watson's career. No, man. Come on. I ain't falling for that trap. I ain't falling for that trap. You're not going to catch me slipping saying, nah, buddy, it was the hand jobs that ruined his career. But I'll say it. Maybe just being a piece of shit ruined his career, not injuries. Cam Ward at 23. That's kind of fun. Interesting to see that JJ McCarthy's a little bit lower. Like he's QB 20 in terms of ADP, but the leg up guys are a little bit down on that. Man, Dak's price tag could just like age like wine. If you do this like Dak plus Ferg, or you do like Dak where he's falling with your CD teams. Who else can you backstack with Dallas? Jadon Blue, Texas guy. Turpin, something like that. All right. So we could do the Stafford stack. We don't want okay. We're gonna do Geno because we gotta do Geno, man. Just for the bid equity that our first draft. I think we could wait one round and still get Geno. Let's take Garendo and be done at running back. I think we can wait one. I think we can wait one more round and we could still get Geno or Staff on this team. Both of their ADPs are the 160s, but we're going to end up with at least one of them, if not both of them, on a Purdy team. I was going to say I prefer Geno, obviously, because of the 2 teammate correlation opposed to the 1, but I also prefer Geno because we don't want to have, if we get an LA versus San Francisco, if we get an LA plus San Francisco week 17 divisional game, I don't want both quarterbacks in the game. I want the quarterback from one side and then I want a quarterback from another game environment. So I think I want Geno there. Yeah, Dak is a free advance rate piece right now. I respect that. Tolbert as the back stack. You guys like Tolbert more than Turpin? Interesting. Remember Tony missed the hoop segment, but Crusoe versus Dort. I like Crusoe. I like it. What up, Easy? Easy's first in the chat always. There we go. Okay. Geno's underrated based on market sentiment of Raiders skill pieces. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like the Raiders skill pieces, we took 2 in the first 2 rounds, and then Geno goes way back here. But it's also because nobody really wants to backstack Vegas, right? You know, like what else are we doing? Like Trey Tucker probably feels close to undraftable now with Jack Besh, right? Dude, Mostert, that's a kind of a sneaky last round pick. I know everybody wants Genty to be like, I don't know, a better version of what rookie season Jake Elliott was. We lost Geno there, which is unfortunate. Rybert took a 3rd quarterback with Geno to stack up with Myers. Okay, so maybe I was wrong. We couldn't wait on quarterback that long. But his ADP is 160. So he is slightly undervalued relative to his teammates. So that checks out. Interesting, guys, just in real time to note the difference that the way the sidekick versus just ranks work is like the Stafford rank is actually behind Cam Ward and ADP is the same, but then the sidekick prioritizes Stafford because of the Devontae Adams bet we have. All right, let's do it. We'll do Staff here. Quarterback. Man, I like that Milrow pick by Seattle. They got some good value on that relative to where he was getting mocked in some spots. Are people just treating Rodgers like he's the Steelers quarterback? Like if you just stack Rodgers right now, are you just stacking him like with Steelers? There's still some free agents that probably get signed, like Keenan and J.K. Dobbins. That's good. That's good. Yeah, this was my thought too, Pepper Tony. Like where it's like, I love the Milrow spot. There's no pressure to start right away. Like they know that Sam Darnold's kind of like just like bridge guy, right? Feels good. How strong are your WRs? My wide receivers suck, right? Adams, Worthy, Jennings, Ayuk. We need some help here. Wandale Robinson getting a slight bump because of the one teammate correlation. He's way down there in terms of ADP. Ranking, he's Legendary Upside's favorite. And we have the one teammate bet. And we could add a third quarterback that is a Giants quarterback. Let's do it. I didn't nah wave. For the record, did not nah wave the sidekick that time. I made the play the best plays play that time, guys. Unheard of. Unheard of. I played the best plays and trusted the sharps for a change. Nez told me not to crash the play, man. Who are some guys that like aren't getting drafted right now that could actually matter? That's what intrigues me. Like, what do we got in terms of like ADP, like way down here? Hopkins farewell tour. J.K. Dobbins could sign and just kind of be a thorn in somebody's side. Like, what if J.K. Dobbins goes to like Miami? Like, that would just be like, please, no. They already did the Madison thing and they drafted Ollie Gordon. That's a bad one. That's a bad idea. What about Washington? Yeah. Like J.K. Dobbins to Washington would be like a big thorn in the side. And that one's kind of realistic. But they did use Jeremy McNichols a decent amount last year. Neil's down here. Bears? Yeah. Yo, Nick Chubb. That's a good one, Fletch. I'm buying into the hype videos that are Nick Chubb. Does Chubb have an ADP? Oh, shit. You got to spell it right to get there. He's not in the Legendary Upside rankings right now. His ADP is 203. You know where Nick Chubb would actually make sense? The Cowboys. You sell some Nick Chubb jerseys for the Cowboys. That feels like a match made in heaven. They drafted Blue. They brought over Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams' ADP could age so poorly. Oh, fuck. I forgot about Miles Sanders. They already did the redemption tour, Miles Sanders. How about giving up all those what was it, a second round pick for Jonathan Mingo? Maybe that's why they didn't draft another wide receiver. They just believe in Jonathan Mingo or spend like good capital on another wide receiver. Yeah, dirtiest running back room of all time if he goes to Dallas. Absolutely. Chubb leads to blue balls. That's pretty good. Well done. Ray. That's kind of fun. What's up with Ray? Ray McLeod buried down here. 94. Had some spiky wide receiver 94. Had some spiky weeks last year. That seems good. What about Tyler Lockett, man? Tyler Lockett's buried down here. Are we going to take a swing on a Giants quarterback on this team? And do like Russ or something? Flacco's going to be there for us. I think it's got to be a 3 quarterback team. I think we got to take wide receiver here. Let's take Lockett. Why not? I thought he was going to retire. Cam Ward uses Tyler Lockett in the same way. Cam Ward uses Tyler Lockett in the same way that Caleb Williams used Keenan Allen last year. resurgent Tyler Lockett year as a target hog. Keyshawn Booty as a potential backstack option. Not bad. Wide receiver 107 for your Drake May teams. What the Patriots look like. Mario Douglas, Booty, Mac Hollins. I forgot about Mac Hollins. I mean, they're all just like the same back there. Okay, so we're done at tight end. We got Bowers and Njoku. We're done at tight end. Wide receiver room is okay. It's not great. It's very hinging upon the Giants guys, or sorry, upon the San Francisco guys being decent. Running back room could be done. Maybe we can tack on a last one. Sidekick is telling me to do the Slayton thing, and then we add on a Giants quarterback, I think. That seems fine. Seen a bunch of rookies at the top here in terms of running backs. Are we going down the Darius Slayton rabbit hole for the 27th year in a row? I guess we are. I guess we are. Respook saying I took his guy. Good. I finally made a good pick. Good. Ooh, Royals. Okay. Jalen Royals. ADP 193 right now. That's kind of fun. I mean, after Austin took... Did Austin take Mahomes from us? Yeah, because you were right beside us. Did the Mahomes thing with the Rice thing. We were going to do it with Worthy. Man, that Mahomes price tag at like pick 80, when he falls in rooms where like the Worthy and Rice drafters are the only ones to take him, then he gets to Travis Kelce at 89, and then you can add Royals late like that. Ooh, chef's kiss. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. Okay, we're 100% done at tight end. We're probably done at running back too. What do you guys think? What do you guys think here? Purdy and staff. Do I need a third quarterback? I think it makes the team make sense if you take like Russ on this team. If you take Dart on this team. If you take probably Jameis being the least favorite of the three, right? Probably rank it like the way in which I said it, where it's like Russ is the safest for games. Dart is like this all went to hell and now he's starting in week 17. But if we're telling that story with all these giants on our roster, that's not a story worth telling, right? I mean, he could take over in like week 5 and then run away with it. Oh, here you go. Probably takes the May route. Dart probably takes the May route and starts by like week 8. Okay. 2 quarterbacks seems fine with these guys. Okay. Dude, Justice Hill, there's a scroll. They gave him the bag last year too. Like they like him. They used him a lot in the postseason. They used him a lot late in the year. They didn't spend premium capital in the draft on running back. If the coaching staff hadn't turned over, like in terms of like Roman and that sort of stuff, I could see Dobbins going back to Baltimore. But with the coaching staff having turned over in terms of coordinator and like that sort of thing, I kind of like that Hill shout as like a cheeky last one. So how are we landing this plane? 1 wide receiver and 1 running back? Michael Wilson's still down here. What's Arizona got depth-wise? Dortch, Zay Jones, Justice Hill goes right there. So that one's gone for us. Michael Wilson telling me AD Mitchell. The sidekick's telling me AD Mitchell. Second year wide receivers breakout. Daniel Jones steps up to the plate. Gives us a backstack quarterback too. Interesting. Okay, so the sidekick set this all up to tell us that Jackson Dart is now the pick. Jackson Dart is now the pick with the last one here. Or we could do this. We could do Daniel Jones to AD Mitchell if we want to do the third quarterback. Respook just took Jackson Dart from us, which means he was probably the neighbor's drafter. He was not. Oh, okay. A little Theo Johnson mini stack to close it. The chat's telling me to take Hunter. Is Hunter the guy? You don't need another running back? So it's Daniel Jones or Hunter. Daniel Jones wins the job. Hunter. Oh. I don't think we need another running back. I mean, famous last words, because you always need another running back. Interesting to see Woody Marks. Like, that was a guy we took a couple times. Granted, it was 20 round drafts, but we took Woody Marks a couple times. That Houston landing spot seems good. Seems fine. Seems like he could have a path to play a little bit. Hunter as a dart for the Rams here is going to be a lot of people's, favorite, because Corum and let's see. Corum goes at 59. Hunter goes at 65. Kyron's been a bit of a faller. Like, we saw him fall. That ADP looks a little bit fake, because we saw him fall in this room to where? Kyron fell to 36. That's about right, I guess. Interesting to see Chase push up. We talked about him a couple times there in our early drafts, that we were like, he could be one of the ones most affected or least affected, depending on the capital spent. We went with this triple Raiders stack. Genty, Bowers, Vontae Adams. Kind of fun. All right. That was a pretty good one. Pretty good to get our feet wet again. Russell Wilson goes there, so that's interesting. Russ still being drafted. KJ White takes that Nick Chubb dart that we were talking about. Seems smart. Chris going with backstack upside rookie quarterbacks. Seems good. Will Shipley. Yeah. Will Shipley seems like underappreciated price tag right now. I do like Rybert did the, JJ and Bucky team, and then you bet against the Saquon teams by doubling down with Will Shipley in the last round. Seems intelligent. Good draft, friends. Good draft. We got the Daniel Jones Giants triple stack, but he plays on a different team now. What's the NBA skeleton key? Roll the tape back. Roll the tape back to the beginning. We talked about it all. All right, gonna tie a bow on it. A beautiful 2.5 hour return to the platform of the people. I genuinely missed you guys. It was a lot of fun to come back here, get excited about drafting again. I'm going to be doing some baseball drafts. I'm going to be doing some basketball drafts to end this evening off. And then tomorrow, we are going to be doing some sprint drafts with Pete on Off and On the Clock. It is, that was our first BBM draft, a 3-5-8-2 Brock Purdy, Matthew Stafford, Daniel Jones. Not sure if we needed the Daniel Jones pick or not. Maybe we would have been better off taking a dart at Hunter in the last round. Genty, Judkins, Cam Scatabo. We are Scatabo. It's actually Scataboo, I think, not Bo. Scataboo guys. So we are Scataboo guys here. Zach Charbonnet playing the GD hits. Isaac Garendo for a little bit of stack equity. Adams, Worthy, Jennings, Ayuk, Wandale Robinson, Tyler Lockett, Slayton, and A.D. Mitchell. And then a pretty strong tight end room with Bowers and Njoku there, spending some second round capital on a little bit of a Vegas stack with Genty and Bowers, but no Gino. Gino did not make it back to us. I don't know. Not a bad first one. Not a bad first one there. But let's tie a bow on it. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe, notification bell. If you happen to be on the X side, jump on over to the YouTube side, please and thank you. Yeah, and share. Tell your friends. We're going to be doing this all week here. We're going to do the sprint tomorrow, and then I imagine we'll do some form of paywall, basketball, hockey, and baseball. And then, yeah, we're going to have some guests on later in the week by the sounds of it and go from there. Shout out to Dale dropping through here. Emo Stare, Evan, thank you, my friend. Brett Boy, tell Mr. Good Boy say hi. Mr. Good Boy is exhausted from a week at my parents' house. They were taking care of him while he was gone, and they treated him way better than I did by going to the park a billion times. But it is time for Mr. Good Boy to go to the park. So everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. See y'all tomorrow.